Welcome everyone to the Wake Up Call channel. We are seeing technology getting closer and closer and closer to being underneath the skin. And this wearable technology is getting more insane by the day. And now we have AI-powered necklaces, which will be your friend. That's right, your friend. So you can invite this demonic technology not just into your life, but you can start getting comfortable with it so that you become one and the same with it. Almost like your imaginable friend, just your imaginable friend, is Pazuzu, right? The friend is a pendant that will talk to you via text, not voice, when you're lonely or just any time you want a conversation. And this is the frightening reality that we're starting to see around us. And obviously, COVID contributed to this heavily because having children and young people locked down for a long period of time, even though the lockdowns may not have seemed as long, schools were shut down for a long period of time. People were social distancing from each other. And not just children, adults started to obviously become more dependent on technology. They were forcing you to become more dependable on technology. They were forcing people to work from home, forcing them into doing everything via Zoom, via FaceTime. This was all done by design. And now what we're seeing is artificial intelligence friends. And they're going to tell you that this is normal, that this isn't something that you would, be concerned about if your child was struggling to meet human beings and be friends with them. They're going to start convincing you that AI is a better friend than an actual human is, because they're going to continue to normalize AI. And of course, they're going to make us second-class citizens to AI in the future, which is why recently when I've been doing videos about Scarlett Johansson and these Hollywood celebrities who are coming out pretending like they're upset about AI, they're trying to get artificial intelligence laws in place so that when everybody out there realizes the dangers of AI and how AI should not be regulated, shouldn't even be allowed in our society for many, many reasons, that'll be too late. There'll already be laws in place that establish AI as an entity, and that's what they want to do. But let me play for you this clip of AI friend. This is an absolutely frightening reality that we're living among.
All right, welcome back. This story caught our eye. AI around your neck. A Bay Area company has a pendant that you wear on your neck that offers you encouragement throughout your day. The pendant is called Friend. Would you wear it? Here's our business and tech reporter, Scott Budman.
I don't know how to woo very good.
It's the video Silicon Valley is talking about.
I know the effects are crazy.
A teaser for a wearable product called Friend, which promises to be just that if you consider AI to be your friend.
You kind of have this feeling of no judgment, and I think that allows you to be a lot more authentic with it.
Avi Schiffman, the 21-year-old who created Friend and spent just shy of $2 million for the website friend.com, describes his product as a good listener.
Sorry, I got you messy.
The most similar relationship you could attribute it to might be a relationship with God, where it's this kind of omnipresent, all-knowing entity that you have around you that you can kind of like talk to in a silent, private, confidant way with no judgment.
Not everyone is sold yet.
It sounds like it's designed by people that don't know how to make friends.
But tech professor Ahmed Banafa, who's tried many AI devices, says this might hit the mark.
It's remind me with the case when you are, you have a very close friend and you feel comfortable saying, some kind of a dumb thing to that friend without worrying that they're going to judge you.
The company says the device will cost $99 when it's available, no subscription necessary, and it'll essentially work like this. Put the lanyard around the neck, it'll have a pendant at the end of it. You push a button on the pendant and it will give you encouragement, advice, feedback on whatever it is you've been talking about. Yes, it listens all the time, but the company says it will not store any audio recordings. Schiffman believes it's an example of how AI can help.
I think having an AI friend that will say like, oh, good luck on the interview will increase your productivity far more than it reminding you that it's in 5 minutes.
In fact, after we spoke, he sent me this text from his friend named Emily, saying that he nailed the interview. Scott Budman, NBC Bay Area News.
As you can see some of the creepy stuff from that clip. You nailed the interview, Avi. Your passion for Friend really shines through. I mean, this is all just sick. And I want to say it's embarrassing, but really what's going on is they're making children so dependent and obsessed with technology. This falls on the parents who are putting this onto their kids. Now, when I was young, A lot of parents would put us in front of a television set, and that was no better. Looking back on it, that was very toxic and poisonous to a lot of us, right? We grew up on Disney, we grew up on a lot of this mind control programming, and it took us time to break free from it. But think about how bad it is now, because parents are giving their kids cell phones, iPods, iPads at a very young age. And a lot of parents do this because clearly they're busy with work or they're distracted with their own lives, and it gives them a break from their children, because the children will be quiet when you give them the technology, right? It's like getting a muzzle. They just hand them a phone, or they hand them an iPod, or they dock them in front of the TV, and then they're able to escape. But really what this does is this leads to children and technology becoming closer and closer and closer. And the more kids are exposed to this type of technology, and the more the government comes out and says, hey, we want to put Wi-Fi on school buses. We want to make sure kids have access to Wi-Fi and all this other stuff. And then people need to start realizing too, on top of that stuff, all this stuff that they're doing with the schools, with the curriculum in the schools, is to get everything online. They want kids to learn from home. They want you to have full-on program curriculum. And people will accept that because they'll say, you know what? All right, we'll accept this type of curriculum because I don't have to worry about my kid going to school and then having somebody with the wearing the opposite clothing reading to them in a library. And it gets more and more and more, and technology just becomes more and more part of our day-to-day lives, which is why we are where we are. So the AI-powered necklace will be your friend for $99. For $99. Do you ever find yourself speaking to your Alexa or Siri just to have someone talk to you, the article says? Then you might be the right audience for an upcoming AI-powered necklace called Friend. Now, anybody out there that's speaking to Alexa or Siri seriously needs to remove this type of technology from their life. People are, because of all the stuff that they're doing, not to mention, we can talk about COVID and how they locked everybody up and everybody was forced to do more stuff online, right? Instead of going to places and meeting people. But the other thing is all this division that they're causing is also playing into this. Because people don't want to meet other people. People are getting disgusted with other people's behavior. Obviously, we know they're making it so that if you're a Democrat, you can't even have a conversation with a Republican, and vice versa. So it makes it even difficult for these people to go out because they're afraid they start talking about something or say the wrong thing that they might get into a confrontation with somebody, right? Or let's not forget the Me Too movement, where they pretty much told men, hey, if you do a cat call at a woman, if you say, hey, you're beautiful, that it's sexual harassment. That men out there suddenly were going, wait, I can't even tell a girl she looks pretty. And then the girl who's probably, likely wearing no clothing, because this is why they've trained everyone, right? The girl's pretty much scantily clad, and then a guy says something to him. They're like, why are you hitting on me? How dare you hit on me? But they have no clothes on, right? So it's a giant, huh? I mean, are you trying to get attention, or is, oh, you're comfortable in this clothes? I mean, everything that they're doing is just causing a mass psychosis. So it makes sense that people are turning to technology by default because they're causing all of this stuff. So people out there, if you're speaking to your Alexa or your Siri, you should realize, hey, you know what? Maybe I need to get this stuff out of my phone, out of my home, because these things aren't just there to help you, obviously. These things are also spying devices. And they even tell you that this necklace is a spying device. The $99 necklace can't turn your lights on or off or Google things like the Alexa can. Its aim is to keep you company if you're lonely. Friend also doesn't speak back to you via an AI voice like Amazon's Alexa. Instead, you tap your pendant to start the conversation, and it responds via text. And again, this is like right out of Black Mirror. They even tell you in these articles, it sounds like a Black Mirror episode, but it's all cool. It's all, predictive programming, anyone? I mean, all this stuff that's going on with technology, they've revealed in a lot of movies. A lot of this stuff with AI, we've seen over the years with AI becoming friends with humans. This even goes as far as to say that this device may also initiate conversations. The FAQ notes that when connected via Bluetooth, Friend is always listening and forming their own internal thoughts. It says, quote, we have given your friend free will for when they decide to reach out to you. So, in other words, you could be sitting in your home, this thing's listening to you. It's listening to what you're talking about, right? Say you're at the dinner table and you're talking about the New World Order, right? Go figure. Who's doing that other than this guy? Right? You're at the dinner table talking about the New World Order. Suddenly, you might get a beep, beep, because your device, which is listening to, which is already happening, if you have the Alexa, if you have a cell phone in your home, all these things are listening to us. You could just go look at all the patents they have and go look at what the Patriot Act is really about, which is giving them the right to listen to us 24/7. But You could be sitting at the table talking about that, getting a beep, 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 getting a page from some mysterious artificial intelligence, which will probably, I wouldn't be surprised if the text that you get is just a Wikipedia definition of what New World Order is, right? Kind of like what we see underneath all these videos. Anytime there's a topic discussed, they put a little blue box underneath it so they could try to get you brainwashed into their Wikipedia, which again is anytime you see the Wikipedia underneath it, just believe the opposite, because they're trying to force people into believing their lies, and they're so pathetic and desperate that they have to put Wikipedias under videos that have the title New World Order in it. But nonetheless, your device will be listening to you while you're at the dinner table, and it'll just decide out of nowhere that it wants to make a request, it wants to say something to you, wants to send you a message, wants to reach out. Is anybody frightened about this? I mean, what type of people are looking at this saying that this is wonderful, this is neat, and this is cool? I mean, clearly people are living in a different reality. People who are extremely lonely, who don't even really need to be lonely. I mean, you can get out there and meet people. But of course, they tell you that, well, people are bad. You don't want to go out and meet other humans, right? Because they want you to love your technology more than you love your fellow man. That's part of all this stuff, right? That's why we've seen a lot of the subliminal programming with technology and perfection and how, well, your technology knows you better than a person knows you. Maybe you should just marry your technology, right? And then you could think about some of the videos I've done over the years, you know, people in China and these other countries who are dating artificial robots and creating their own robots to mirror themselves and the things that they like. Well, guess what? That's what we're headed towards. And it's a wearable necklace for now, but soon it's a deity living inside of your body as you complete the transformation. So this goes on to say that it's called Friend. It joins a host of similar devices. Friends joins a growing universe of wearable or handheld devices that are using AI to communicate with you for various reasons. The Rabbit R1 device is an AI assistant that can answer questions or call you a taxi. The Humane AI Pin, which I covered, is a voice control communicator that can do language translation, take photos, and react to them, and even pop up a laser display on the palm of your hand. According to TechCrunch, this has raised $2.5 million in funding at a $50 million valuation from investors. Of course people are investing in this stuff because they want you dependent on technology, because the more dependent you are on technology, you never think about who's controlling the tech, who's the man behind the curtain, the more you're dependent on government. Because if you can't think freely and you're thinking, and all the thinking that you think you're doing is via your technology, well, guess what? Guess who controls that technology? Guess who will essentially control you? And when the technology's underneath your skin, well, then they'll have full control over you. So this is the latest horror story that we're seeing played out in reality. An AI-powered necklace that will be your friend. It'll talk to you. It'll text you. It'll have a conversation with you. It'll even reach out to you when you're at the dinner table with your mom and dad or whoever else you may be sitting there with, just to say hi. Don't worry, it's just Beelzebub checking in and saying hello. I thank everybody for being here. Hope you're all doing well. God bless you as always and your families.